everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal video today. If you've never come across our channel before, we post new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 PM UK time. So if you do enjoy the video, then please consider subscribing. We've got two patients in the video today, so without further ado, we'll go straight into it and I'll explain things as we're going along. So what you can see with this first gentleman here, he's got a very blocked up ear on one side, very dry wax here. He has introduced a little bit of olive oil in here to soften this front entrance of the wax. But what we can see is as we get a grip on this, it's very crumbly in nature. So we've got the standard size ulnar tube on here. We're just getting a grip on this harder section here and we'll take that section away. There we are, it's broken that whole front section off. But what you'll see behind is we've got this very long, thin, hard layer of wax there. Lots of dry skin in here as well. Now this lovely gent does suffer a little bit with tremors. And what you'll notice through the video is sometimes when you're suctioning patients who have a tremor, if the suction does become quite noisy at times, if it is particularly noisy, you tend to find the tremor will get worse. So what you may see during the video is you may see the video wobble just a little bit as we're doing that. So we've got a good grip on a hard piece of skin which is lying underneath this wax. So what you'll see is we're trying to lift it from the base. So we're trying to detach the wax from the canal wall, just loosening it in the canal, because you can see just to the left hand side of the wax you'll see a little gap which is going all the way down, and then you've got the wax widening at the very back section. So there's a much wider, thicker piece of wax further in. So I've popped a little bit more olive oil in here. Obviously we did say the gentleman had used some, but because that front section of wax was so large, the oil had penetrated into that but not got further into the canal. So what we're doing here is just loosening that wax and working the olive oil down the side of it to get it away from the canal wall. So we've got the crocodile forceps in here now. You can see how crumbly that wax is. As soon as you've got a grip there, it just snapped that little piece away. You can see what I mean about the tremor there. Patient was just starting to tremor a little bit there. So we've got a good grip on this section. As we pull, you can see the whole thing is collapsing down on itself, so breaking apart. Got a good grip on a thicker, harder piece to the side there. So let's see if we can hold on to this section now using the standard size ulnar tube. And out this is popping. Just working it up and down there just to work it out of the canal. As we take this away, you can see that whole front section's come away there. Now we can see that bigger, wider section that was much, much further in. So just in front of the eardrum here, there's some dry skin you can see getting lifted into the suction there to the right-hand side. So we're just trying to work that off. I'm sorry I didn't post on Friday, guys. I had a few technical issues with my editing software, so I couldn't, for some reason it just kept messing up the edit every so often. I just had to give up. I lost the plot with it towards the end. So this is actually Friday's video that I'm putting out today. And also thank you to everyone who tuned in to us being interviewed on the national radio here in Wales. That happened on Saturday. If that's something you're interested in listening to, I can always pop an audio version of that up onto YouTube as well. It is on Facebook, but if you want to or have a listen to it on YouTube, let me know in the comments and I'll pop it up for you. So just trying to work this off. There we are. You can just see it took that little hard section from the right hand side. It's really loosened this wax. Now you can see it's crumbling away. If we get a grip on that base section there, trying to hold the suction tube onto it, you can see that little bit of skin underneath this just hindering it coming away there. Perfect, that's coming away nicely. Let's get a grip on this next section now. Just rocking it back and forth, just slowly kind of pulling down and forwards with this block of wax. There we are. It's come around the corner. It's probably going to get a little bit stuck. There we are. You can see as we brought it forwards, because of the size of the entrance to the canal compared to how wide it is a little bit further in, this block has just got stuck. It's also a bit of an awkward angle as well to get this out. You can see the patient tremors just kicking in again a little bit there. There we go, and it's on its way. There we are. As we pull this away, you can see that tail then came just scooping out underneath with it. There we are. So we've got this little bit of the entrance here. We'll get rid of that, and a little dot a bit further in. You can see the eardrum there looking absolutely lovely. Let's just pop that away and just get rid of some of this dead skin here. I think I've told you before in the videos that when you suction skin, what can happen sometimes, it can be really, really loud. And we talked about this tremor, and sometimes when things get a little bit louder, I think there's no physiological reason that would make somebody tremor a little bit more. I think sometimes it's just the noise of it, where somebody is really concentrating on trying to stay still for you, and then you've got this louder noise in your ear. I think they try and concentrate and try to stay that a little bit harder, which sometimes makes the tremor that a little bit worse. But when you take away skin, it does tend to vibrate in the end of the suction tube, so you've got a really shrill, high-pitched sound sometimes, which is why I switched then to using the crocodile forceps and the fine end, because both of those will give you crocodile forceps. Obviously there'd be no sound there, but the fine end, because it's a much smaller aperture, it doesn't vibrate in the end and whistle so much. So there we are. We've got 1.5 inches taken away there, 4 centimeters. You can see all those big blocks of wax. So a really, really full ear canal there for that one. So we're going to go on to our second patient now in the compilation. A little bit different this one. You can see very dark, ebony colored wax here. Classic depression in the center. Much thinner wax to the outside edges. So classic Q-tip or cotton bud use here. Now, if you try and drop that suction straight onto the center of that wax, then what's going to happen is it's not going to be able to pull out. So the first thing we need to do is start lifting from the sides, from the canal walls, which is what we're doing here. So just lifting this up a little bit, folding this over. There we are. What I'm trying to do here is create enough of a gap underneath that we can actually, if you imagine this is the crocodile forceps, imagine this is the wax. So what we're trying to do is get enough of a gap that we can get both jaws above and below that wax there. There we go. Lift a little bit more as we lift. See the whole thing slide. You can see that white underneath. That's the fresher, dead skin there underneath. Got a good grip there with the crocodile forceps. Out this comes. There we are. Nice big block of wax there. Lots of little hairs embedded in it. Look how dark that wax is. When we take that away, you look behind it. There's the eardrum looking nice and healthy. Not so much of a light reflex there. And with this wax now, a bit more unusual, it's kind of scooped. Imagine it like a backward C shape. So it's kind of gone around the top and underneath there with this little gap to the left-hand side. Same principles apply here though. We're going to lift it off the base of the canal first. Always be mindful when we're doing this bit. It's because you're working so close to that canal wall. You are literally trying to hover just above the canal wall. So you try not to dig into it or press down into it too much. So we've got the crocodile forceps here. If we're lucky, the whole thing will come away. But in this case, the right side is sheared from the main block of wax. There we are. That's come away nicely there. Now, if we look at it now, you can see you've got this section. We've got a very thin section at the top. Now, bear in mind what I just told you about working close to the canal wall. See, we've got this slightly thicker section to the left-hand side. More for us to work with, more to get a bite onto, and we don't have to press as close to that canal wall. So we've just got a good grip here with the forceps. And out that comes. There we are. We'll take a look behind that. There's the eardrum there. Not so much of a light reflex there, you can see. So these are the two pieces we took away. So the left-hand side, so around about the inch mark there, that's the first piece. And the section to the right-hand side there is the last sort of few pieces we took away there. So looking sort of quite dark around the edges. See how smooth it is where it's attached to the canal wall? Certainly that left-hand piece, you can see that. So let's snip back to there we are, back to the normal view. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video today, guys. It's been a while since we've done a Q&A, and I'm conscious that I'm not able to respond to as many of your comments and questions as I would normally like to. So rather than me go back over all those, how would you feel if we did another live Q&A, kind of like a lockdown Q&A, if you like, where you guys can come on, ask whatever you want, and I will answer it there and then for you, because it's probably quicker for me to do it that way, because a lot of you will have very similar questions rather than me sort of answer lots and lots. How do you feel about doing that? If that's something you want to see, then drop that into the comment section below and let me know. We can certainly arrange that for you. If you wanted to hear the radio interview I did for BBC Radio Wales, we can let me know as well in the comments, and I'll pop that up as well. So as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and we shall see you real soon. I will upload as soon as I possibly can again, and look after yourselves.